Yay!
Yay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Can't wait to see what that big announcement is about, Anita.
Totally don't know it. Totally haven't seen it before.
Hey, Shonda. Welcome to the stream. One thing I'm noticing is I'm noticing we're seeing a lot of the same people on these streams for both of us, Kage. And they love both of us. Yep. You can't have them all, damn it. I'm a selfish bastard, though, Kage. You know what? I'll tell you what, Kage. I will happily share with you the worst 5 games that I've picked that you don't have. You just let me know.
Yay.
Poor Mellow, he just rolled out of bed. It happened already. He does.
Mm.
Mellow wakes
Tell
up
me
at
when your
like
screen
4 in the morning his time for this stream.
3:45.
3:45.
Yeah.
Wow. That
No,
is
4:40.
dedication.
Tell me when your screen sharing. Right. Right, number 5's Block Story. So this is another one of the games on Steam that tries to be a Minecraft ripoff, but like other Minecraft ripoffs on Steam, it tries to primarily focus on one aspect of Minecraft while trying to forget about everything else about Minecraft to try and justify itself as its own unique game. Block Story tries this but fails horribly. It tries to focus on the exploration element by putting Minecraft in an RPG. Now, that doesn't sound too bad until you see the actual execution, which unfortunately you're not going to see because the recording crashes about a minute or two in.
Oh no.
And there's terrible combat mainly because it's a mobile port. And there's also microtransactions littered everywhere where you need to pay gems in order for you to get resources, which basically eliminates the exploration element that the game added in. There's glitches also when you're mining. You could randomly die for no reason.
What?
Also, the models. Also, you can tell that's a mobile game because it obviously had that in there. Come back tomorrow to get a daily prize.
Nice. Yay.
There's models in the game that make no sense for being there. Like, you can see this is a blocky world like Minecraft, but then suddenly you'll see a realistic wizard, a realistic looking sheep, a realistic pig, a horse that's half the size of that pig, like a Tyrannosaurus Rex coming out of nowhere. Then this weird World of Warcraft gnome that gives you quests, as well as a wizard that looks like he came out with a Lord of the Rings game for PS2. So
Level
And
7.
also, it might be it might be okay if the game actually gave you quests that were enjoyable, but they messed that up as well because the game is just fetch quest after fetch quest after fetch
So you
quest.
mean go get me like 10 blocks of dirt kind of stuff?
Yeah, there's three variations of quests they give you. One, fetch this. Two, fetch this, give it to him. Three, fetch this so we can make something out of this.
Nice.
That's as far as the variation of the quests go.
Oh, sounds a lot like World of Warcraft, and people love World of Warcraft. I'm just saying.
But the reason that made World of Warcraft good is because it had a huge, expansive world to explore,
Uh
and
huh.
it also had multiplayer. This is
True.
single player.
Ouch. Yeah, that would not be fun.
No, so ended up getting. I ended up. I
Hey,
ended up
Diane.
getting bored within 5 minutes of the game. I've never. I've never picked it up since then. So yeah, that's why Block Story is my number five.
Looks like a worthy winner. Number 5.
Mm. Tell me when you've switched over to Zach because I don't want them
I
to say
have
my number
switched
four
over
spot
now.
yet.
I think I switched. No problem. All right, guys. So last week I had the pleasure of going through some of the best indie games that I've played in 2016. And on that list, I had 20 games to choose from that I had to pick 5 from for the best of 2016 so far. Thankfully, this year, or this week rather, when I looked at my worst games of 2016 that I've played, I only had 11 to choose the top 5 from. And thankfully, as well, because I score every game and give every game a percentage when I review a game, it made it pretty easy. So these top 5 games from this list that you're looking at down on the bottom right of my screen: City Plays, Zombie Parking, One Last Chance, Road Madness, Unconscious, Zombies on a Plane, X17, The Sacred Stone, White Mirror, Ultimate Rock Crawler, and Berrytown are all ultimate fails. These are all games that I wouldn't recommend that you go play for free, even if you could, much less spend money on them. But let's go ahead and start with number 5. And when you see number 5 and when you see some of the gameplay from number 5, you're going to wonder what the hell is wrong with the other 4 games if they're worse than my number 5. Because this game is a real work of art. And let's go ahead and pull that up. It is X17. And I show you the rating that I gave this game. So my number 5 got a 12% score from me, meaning that there's 4 games that I played in 2016 that scored lower than a 12%. Let's go ahead and take some footage. Look at some footage from X17.
It looks sort of decent. Like the lighting looks really good on it, reflecting off the floor.
Well, keep in mind, Kage, this is just the, I mean, when you look at this game right now, it looks pretty impressive when you go into the opening screen. But when you get past that, and you see right here, the menu setting shows flashlight way up here when it should be down here. And this is pretty much of a standard menu selection that, again, he hasn't made himself. It's a complete mess. That's scary. Spark effects and the graphics and stuff like that. Keep in mind as well that all these games are, all these graphics are assets that he's bought. These are all Unreal Engine assets.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the opening screen. It's not until I start the game that things get really bad. And this Jason Welch guy is the producer of this game. And he's the producer of all his games. And he seems to think a lot of himself because he does this with the 2 games that I played from him. He starts the games off directed by Jason Welch, produced by Jason Welch, writing by Jason Welch, art by Jason Welch, as you can see here, produced by Jason Welch. He definitely thinks a lot of himself. He also thinks a lot of his games when he charges $14.99 for this atrocity. Yeah.
The animations look
I
terrible.
actually did my review before before Jim Sterling did on this game. But well, that was the best thing I could find. Like I was saying, I was like, I don't want to look at your butt, I'll look at hers. But then
What
it
is
wasn't
going on with
until
them two?
I started seeing that he was using the same model over and over and over again in the opening room. 3 or 4 of the same lady.
And the opening credits are still
And
going.
then I saw her face.
He's even in the voice actors.
Yeah, I was telling this guy in the review, I was telling that guy there, that guy model, I was like, stay the hell away from her, dude. She's got something wrong with her. I was saying, are you Jason Welch?
Is she even sitting down on that couch? It looks like she's sort of levitating.
So here's when I started actually playing the game.
I'm surprised
And
no
I was
one
like,
in
wow, this looks like it could be fun. But then I was sorely disappointed.
was no one in that metro station worried about a guy carrying around a high-tech gun.
One thing you'll see is that Jason Welch loves he loves the special effects and explosions too much.
He looks like the Michael Bay of video games. I beat you to the joke, ha! That
And
blur as you run around is really annoying as well.
I just killed this guy and they're just respawning immediately. And yeah, you can see why this game scored a 12% from me. And when you also see that this game was $15 price, the guy is in price 3 months later.
Oh. I'm
If
in
you
no
like,
way impressed.
yeah, if you like pizzazz and special effects, I mean, this game's for you. But if you like a game with substance, this game you want to stay far away from. Like I say, I wouldn't play these games for free, much less pay $15 for them. No, I paid for it, and then I refunded it. I refunded the game, but I had to wait a week for money to come back. So that is X17, truly a fantastic work of art. So my number 5 worst game of 2016 so far. Hey, Andrew, welcome to the stream, buddy. The digital homicide special. Looking forward into the future. Actually, like I was saying, Andrew, like I was telling these guys to start off, or before we actually started, digital homicide is actually an angelic set of developers compared to Panzer Studios, in my opinion, who continues to think that their games are worth upwards of $15, and you just saw one of them, and this guy does the same thing every time. At least Digital Homicide puts their games on sale for $5 for $1, $5 for 99 cents. Panzer Studios continues to think he's all that. Yeah, 40 for $1. Panther Studio thinks X-17 is worth $15. That game I just showed you, 3 months after he launched it.
This is a bit weird because Rescue Lucy's gotten an 81% on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll go upstairs this time as opposed to using the key and running
The
into the
art style
thing.
looks quite good.
Yeah. Next.
Wow. Is this the game you were playing last night, Doggy? Mm-hmm. Weren't you playing this last night on your stream? Mm. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're not. For whatever reason, they don't hear you, Doggy, talking. They hear me. That's it. I hear you on the Google, but
Yeah, I'm hearing them as well.
Okay, my microphone was actually off. Oh,
if your microphone is off, how am or how is Mellow and I hearing you on
well,
Google?
no, it's the Google Hangout uses a different setup.
Oh, okay.
Okay, guys, this is Rescue Lucy, and you've got some issues here. This game was actually incredibly short, and even though I only paid a buck or so for a buck, or I paid between $1 and $2 for it, it's really not worth the price of entry. It is in fact a mobile port. Um, and ultimately, thing is, you guys didn't hear the. Yeah, Andrew says he can hear us, but you guys didn't hear the intro. We're actually going to need your at the end of the stream. We're actually going to have a we have a special announcement,
Something we need you
and
guys to help us with.
and we're going to need your help. We're going to need your help with it. So anyway, this is the second half. This is episode 11B, the second half of the halftime show. This is the worst of the worst.
No, the worst, yeah, worst of 2016 for me. Are all these games in 2016 for you, Kage?
I think I've got one that goes back to December 15 of 15.
Okay.
But that's the earliest I've got. I think most of Mellow's are a tad older.
I have 3 from 2015 and 2 from 2016.
Okay.
So they're all recent anyway.
They're all relatively recent. Okay. But here is Rescue Lucy. If you die during the game, you can actually you're actually going to be okay. You can continue the game straight off, which does help things as you're not having to do everything 3 times. But your death is actually going to be a guarantee if you don't know what the frick you're up to. And at this point, I'm not gonna lie, I had actually stopped and consulted a walkthrough briefly in order to determine how the hell I was gonna get out of those 3 rooms. And here I'm going to die again because I didn't get what I was looking for quickly enough. And now I'm just gonna bypass a puzzle. I don't know why I bothered to start a new game. I didn't need to. The dog is Lucy, not the girl.
All right.
But this is all the help you're going to get. They show you how to use the inventory system. And then he does all sorts of squirrely shit with it. But the game total, most of the playthroughs I saw on YouTube were about 8.5 to 9 minutes. I think I took about twice that to actually finish this game from front to back on stream. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's a problem. They didn't even think to work it. Even think to work on it all that much. And what you see at this point is pretty much what you get. You're not going to see a whole lot more. Okay. Now this time I've actually killed the freaking gnome here. I can at least see, and a skeleton with the crowbar, and they go through actually all, or very nearly all of the old horror tropes in doing this. We got the vampire with the wooden stake. We got the gnome with his coin. You're going to spend more than 3/4 of the game between hunting keys to open all the doors in the house, all of which are locked.
Mm-hmm.
Almost without exception. I think there was one door in the whole place that wasn't locked. And you had to get into that one through a window.
Damn.
So, it's find the hidden object, hunt and peck, and play around for a minute, and hope like hell that you can actually get any freaking where.
Yeah, I think that's why. I mean, not just this game. Pretty much any of these point and click games look the same to me. I mean, none of them look fun to me. Even the old Myst games and stuff like that were highly regarded. Just the point and click games, for whatever reason, just don't appeal to me at all. So
okay,
this isn't a game I would ever buy.
It's actually sad because I enjoyed Myst. I like a lot of these games, and this was just crud. Could not deal with it. Okay. Oh, hold on. There we go. Here's your dead vampire. Pop into this room. Pop into that room. Kill the vampire. Click.
Oh, see, that's just so cheesy and lame. I think
that's it's just 9 kinds of wrong. See, there's the bathtub. That's
it's like acid.
That is, in fact, I think that is acid. Well, I don't know what's in the bathtub. We had to get water to put somebody out later. There's a zombie. It's all the same thing, and it's the same puzzle several different times. You find a way to get through the. You find a way to get through the locked door. You find you see whatever it is back there. You bail out. You figure out what weapon you need. You either grab the weapon, or make it, and then you just click on somewhere and they die. When you get down towards the end of the
Sounds
game,
exhilarating.
it. Some of these rooms only exist to give you an item that you're going to need for another place, for another location. You could have really done a lot here to make this work, and it just doesn't.
Like, I can see a lot of potential in this, but it doesn't really look like it's executing it that well.
Yeah, I mean the artwork
The execution was
is
piss
good enough.
poor. I mean, that's just all there was to it. All right, that was Rescue Lucy. We have Lucy, and then we have to get out of the house, which actually involves a crucifix, a bottle of water, and some freaking tape.
That makes sense.
No, really, it is that bad. All right, so let's get swapped around here. Mellow, I will hand the floor to you since I've managed to waste way more time than I'd intended. All right,
Okay, then I might need to make this one a bit quick.
click.
Your fourth worst game.
My fourth.
And which one is this?
This is Alone in the Dark Illumination.
Oh, a AAA game, no less.
A AAA
Wow.
game by Atari. This isn't the first time they've messed up E.T.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man for Atari 2600. Now, the first problem is the title of the game itself. Alone in the Dark. And this is an online shooter where you turn on lights.
What?
Just let
Wait,
that sink in.
Hey, Crypto. He says the vampire looked like Leslie Nielsen.
It
That's
did.
funny.
That was the first thing I thought.
That's hilarious.
That was the first thing that crossed my mind when I saw that thing. I'm going, what the frig? All right.
I'm not sure how long this loading screen went on for. There isn't much to load. I'm not sure what it was loading. There we go.
It had a big load.
Okay.
Big load.
So this is its long, drawn-out introduction, and it doesn't have a narrator.
How rude.
And look at that. Look at that site. The buildings haven't loaded in. And this is the graphics on high.
I'm surprised you got it to run.
I had 15 frames actually. There's an FPS counter in the top of the window.
I'm impressed.
And then the camera is literally over the shoulder. So the main point of this game is is that you're plopped into this area. You need to do objectives, and there are enemies wandering around the area, and you need to turn on lights to get them exposed to the light and then shoot them. Also, there's no voice actors in this game. All the subtitles are at the bottom left hand of the corner. The stillness didn't just hang in the air, it suffused the half-finished sentence right with an unearthly combination of silence. And also the whole point of the game doesn't make any sense where you need to turn on lights, you have a light on your flashlight.
And
So
just just like the game before with Kage and X-17, my number 5 game, the graphics, if you didn't know better, would deceive you.
Yeah. Well, this was released June 2015, I believe. And it was bashed by nearly everybody.
I can imagine why.
I'm going to skip ahead because it gets a bit more interesting when I actually get into the town area. I'll actually just show you a bit of the combat. So yeah, if you shoot the enemies when they're not in light, even though they are in light when I've got a flashlight on my gun, they don't die. However, you can tell if they're in the light when they go yellow.
So
and also that enemy stuck behind a gate.
That's brilliant.
And he just fell down without any sort of falling animation.
Good.
And they don't exactly fall over, they just plop down on the ground.
Plop, plop. Oh.
He's still wondering how a gate works. Skip ahead.
Yeah, I don't know how Blizzard had the guts to release Doom with a game like this out. I mean, how could they ever compete?
Blizzard didn't do that. That was
Or not Blizzard,
Bethesda.
Bethesda. Yeah, that's what I meant. How do they
Well, when
how do they have the
Roundup
balls
returned-
though to release with this game out?
Oh yeah, this is a true masterpiece. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Look at that zombie standing ignoring me. There we go. Look at that. The building hasn't loaded in.
Okay, I apologize, folks. I actually have a stubborn piece of game footage. I may not even it may not have even recorded properly. It looked like it was going okay, but we're gonna see.
I basically don't really have much else to say about this. I don't even think it deserves my time
Well,
to
that makes it
explain this.
Zach's turn. So that's number 4, Alone in the Dark Illumination.
Alone in the Dark. How much did that game cost, by the way, Mellow?
I'll quickly check. $14.99.
Wow. And probably more when it first came out, I'm guessing.
Debatably, yeah.
All right, so looking back at my list, let's decide on my number 4 worst game of 2016 so far. And if I look at my list, you guys are going to be delighted to know that yet another Panzer Studio
Hold
game.
on, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Zach. I forgot to switch. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Again, another Panzer Studio game came up next on my list. Jason Welch strikes again with The Sacred Stone. And this is a game that came out way back in January, where X17 he released a whole 2 months later in early March. So let's take a look at The Sacred Stone and see if we can deduce why this game comes in number 4 at even a lower score, scoring an 11% overall rating for me. And keep in mind that, the cost of the game goes into my scoring as well. And when I looked at this game on Steam and I looked at the preview, I actually had high hopes for this game because I had never played a Panzer Studios game before. And this game looked really impressive with impressive looking graphics and looked like a fun, 3D Unreal 4 game. You can see that came in at a whopping 8 gigabytes in size.
Wow.
And that's because same thing with X17. X17 was a huge file, and that's because Jason Welch doesn't pack everything into a game. He just puts in the whole Unreal 4 asset pack into his download without actually packing it into a file or an engine that actually installs itself. He just packs everything into a downloadable file and makes some huge files. So his games are a mess, and I called this game a beautiful mess. So let's go ahead and take a look at it here. And again, as you can see, as the game loads up, notice anything familiar as the game goes through its introduction?
Technology, Jason Welch.
He does think a lot of himself.
Oh yeah.
Game animator Jason Welch. Game modeler Jason Welch.
And I believe this game was $12.99 or something. I don't remember. Too much money. I guess he's got to try to pay for all those assets. But because he charges so much, he hasn't sold more than a dozen, I don't think, of either of his games. But I mean, as this intro is going, you can kind of look at the graphics, and you might do like I did. You might get kind of excited. Wow, this game could be something. This game might be fun. Let's get into it. But you got to watch the Jason Welch name flash up 50 times.
Ugh.
Art by Jason Welch. Animation by Jason Welch. 5 minutes into the game, we're finally getting started.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Already you're impressed, huh?
Nice shiny floor.
What's that?
Nice shiny floor.
Yeah, I mean, as the game loads up, you're like, wow, everything looks good. But
what the frack is that?
What is this? I do not believe for 1 second that they believe that they exist in the same asset pack.
Well, one of them seems to be a goblin, the other an elf. So never mind. It looks like she's leaning on. It looks like she's leaning on thin air.
So then here, to my disappointment, oh yeah, I remember now. This game doesn't the camera doesn't follow you from behind. And I was
That's the
looking
actual
through the
gameplay.
menu selection to try to figure out how to make the freaking camera follow you rather than just have your character move around.
Yeah, there's no camera controls.
Yeah, the camera control is absolutely a complete fail. And since I was one of the first people to buy this game and review it on my channel, of course, the Jason Welch developer, when I said, the camera controls suck, I explained it in my video why the camera controls suck. The developer seemed to not understand what the F I was talking about, thinking that his camera was perfect. And I was like, dude, you need to make the freaking camera follow you like in all other 3D games like this, like World of Warcraft, like all the other 3D games like this. The camera needs to stick behind your character and stay there in a fixed position. He acted like he didn't understand. He tried to fix it. I did a re-review of this game because he said he fixed the camera controls, so I thought maybe the game would be more pleasurable. But again, his camera controls were still an absolute mess, and he acted like he had no comprehension of how to make a freaking camera in this game.
He probably doesn't.
He obviously just doesn't know how to freaking work the Unreal Engine. He doesn't know how to do anything except stick a bunch of freaking assets he's purchased in there in a big mess. He can't even get the camera to work correctly, like any other standard game. But trying to have a conversation with him and trying to explain to him how to make how to stick the camera in a fixed position behind your avatar was a chore in itself. And it looks like it's fixed now, but you'll see in a minute that how it screws up. Waiting for the door to open, and again, see the camera is all over the place.
All right.
Walk through the door.
Yeah, that's not so great.
This was a complete frustration to play. And let's move on a little bit. Then he has these cutscenes here showing you that some big monster is coming to attack you. And the game controlled like an absolute turd. I mean, just like the other games that I think all of us have played, one looking on and looking at the graphics might be deceived very easily, thinking, "Oh, this looks like a pretty impressive little game." It's not. It's nothing but another mess.
Hey, Adam, welcome to the stream. We're actually just getting around to the number.
Hey, Adam.
We're just wrapping up the number 4s. We're gonna get to number 3 here.
I mean, I think you guys can see how the camera is just an absolute mess. You can't tell what the hell you're doing here in this game. And if I move forward to the end of the stream, you'll see somewhere here. I called it a beautiful mess because the artwork, explosions and special effects he uses and everything like that looks impressive, but it's nothing but a big mess.
A big freaking train wreck.
Yeah, it's a mess just like X-17. And that is my number 4 worst game of the year, scoring an 11%, and that is The Sacred Stone.
All right, so that makes it my turn.
It does make it your turn.
Okay, now I'm going to apologize to you guys now because I don't actually have any of the footage for the game for the playthrough that I did for this, or the attempted playthrough I did for this. I'm just gonna have to show you the Steam trailer. This is Z.I.O.N, and it is my number 4. You have a look here. This is actually the graphics on Ultra. I had to run it on medium, and it kicked the crap out of my GPU worse than Shopkeep. Okay, there's no apparent way to switch weapons. You respawn if you hit the MT for any reason. You will respawn. So those people that like to use the right side of the keyboard for your Control Alt Shift and that kind of thing, you're gonna have a problem. The
Yes, I
left
know.
and the left and right the left and right shift have different purposes, so you couldn't just do that anyway. It's it is the train wreck to end all train wrecks, to be perfectly honest with you. There are three worst games in this. I picked it up. I picked it and its soundtrack up at the same time because it was on sale and it was just and I think that the soundtrack actually wound up costing. Yeah, you probably did. I didn't see any of this. They told me to go find. They told me to go find a nine-story building with a bunch of traffic cones. And they put me on the other side of freaking town, in an open area where so a bunch of these bots were just about everywhere. They're telling me to avoid the bots. They give me damn near no ammo, and I have to like completely shut them down. They have exactly one level, and it's really to do with going into a building, grabbing a decoder, and then going and shutting down three objects and avoiding all the bots.
Oh
Because
my.
the bots are alien invaders, and we can't have that.
And this
Never
has
mind that it
mostly
looks like
positive
you've got
reviews.
zombies in chunks of this.
And how
So
is this game getting mostly positive reviews?
I don't know, and that's
Baffling.
kind of my problem. It looks like crap. It handles like crap. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the best I could do even on the lowest settings was 12 frames a freaking second. 12.
Wow.
And that is a sign of not only a very badly optimized game, but a game that has real problems that has other much heftier issues. Okay, now just to show you, um, their VG Studios Games Gold Edition. I think the whole bundle was like $6, and it included this one, another one, and paid for them paying for reviews. I would not be surprised. Okay, it says the recommended is a Core i7 3820 at 3.6 gigahertz. That is a single core processor chip. Okay.
Okay. An interesting observation about this game. It has 26 positive reviews, 10 negative reviews. Like all 10 negative reviews actually have a written review, people saying it's the worst game they've ever played on Steam, yada yada. Only one positive review out of 26 actually wrote a positive review.
Okay.
So 25 positive reviews coming out of Mysterious Land. So yeah, I think something shady is definitely going on with
Okay.
that.
Let me
It
show.
could just be that they're in a different
Let me
language.
run this down for you here real quick. The minimum requirements is a Core i3 2.1 gigahertz. I have a Core i7 3630QM, which is an which is eight friggin' cores. It kicked the crap out of that and the GPU. They want 1 gigabyte of RAM and a 610M. I have a 670M.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 8 gigabytes of available hard drive space. That's way too much for a game that looks this shit. Okay, their recommended is a Core i7 3820 at 3.6. If I kick the if I push my CPU hard, because I think that's actually a dual core processor chip, the 3820. My 2.4 will overclock itself by itself to 3.6. It will do this, and there is no reason I should have had I should have had that much problem. The 670M is actually equivalent to to a 520 to a GTX 520, and I could still run Doom at 40 to 50 frames a second on this machine, and still didn't build up nearly as much heat as I did with this. This thing got my poor GPU up to 97 friggin' degrees centigrade. I could boil water on my
Damn.
GPU that 10 seconds, and this game is freaking crap. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's number 4. On top of that, I was running OBS trying to get footage, and I failed to get it. It didn't I not, the footage didn't come through.
Yeah, when you
I
look at
got
that and you look at the
11
shady.
minutes worth of black running around in a big open space, headed for a park and getting shot dead.
Hmm.
Um, so that's yeah, shady shit, bad optimization, bad pretty much every fucking thing. Jim Sterling couldn't get 30 frames a second. He's got a freaking beast. Okay, so that's pretty much gonna be it for me. All right,
Mysterious positive reviews. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right. I'm gonna switch over to Mellow here, and if I remember correctly, at number 3, he and I have the same game.
Oh yeah.
All
Do you
right,
want me to show it or how we're
you
gonna do this since
knock
we both have
yourself
the
out.
same thing?
We can
Okay.
use the same damn footage. Um, this is number 3, Robert Mensa's Sins of the Father. Mel and I both put this in the same slot because this was really, really horrid.
Oh yeah. The
The
problem I
the
have.
developer had a miniature meltdown over the reviews he got for this, but he at he went through he bitched at everybody for a minute, and then he shut the hell up.
The main
And
problem I have with this is that I cannot really explain why it's exactly bad. 'Cause it didn't exactly give me much to work with.
well, they
Well, the
didn't give
camera
you
cut.
very much to work with. They gave you almost nothing in terms of story. You had to read the description to get the story at all.
Yeah.
And even if you didn't read the story, you're completely confused. Okay, there is no way to skip these cutscenes. Nothing.
Also, I just tested something around here. I think you'll enjoy this. I'm not sure if it's around here or later on in the footage. Yeah, here we go. There's a speech volume,
And there is
and there's
no
no
there it
dialogue.
doesn't matter what that's set to because there's no spoken dialogue for the entire friggin' game. There are also no health
I,
packs, no way to heal, and we'll talk about the hitboxes in a minute.
I tried to turn the subtitles off, but apparently nothing happened.
Oh, the
So
boy
yeah, the
from the
options menu doesn't
prophecy.
exactly work.
And who's Shab? And why is his name not capitalized?
Hmm. You'll see that quite a bit in the next
Oh,
part.
I know. This guy's English is just terrible. But that's
By the
at this
way,
point that's the least of his friggin' crimes.
this is supposed to be a boss battle. Watch this.
Okay.
Ouch. What?
What?
Oh, a
How,
capital S and an H and a lowercase a, and a B.
how the hell did you do that?
Fantastic.
Because it
I've no
took me
clue. I just
several minutes of not being able to target the damn thing.
wait. Hang on. Just want to bring something
I
up.
couldn't target that thing for shit.
Okay, watch this. He goes under the map to give this new presentation. But yeah, the targeting is terrible because there's no way of targeting. You need to try and line your character up, and looking at the point of view, it is really hard to try and line yourself up with no targeting reticule attached.
On top of that, he cannot turn on his heel. He actually has to walk around to do that. And this gets even better because this friggin' flamethrower of his. I don't know if I've got a bit in my footage that will show this. Um, and I'll get to that in just a minute. We're gonna pop you out of the order there for a sec, Zach. Um, since he and I are sharing this particular game.
Also, I noticed that the AI doesn't seem to detect where there's objects to walk into because most of the zombies just ended up walking into a pillar, and the camera just clipped through the building.
Yep. Well, the camera clipping through the building is something that's just annoying. What's actually a problem, and we saw a little bitty clip of that. Actually, you're seeing it right now. Um, and that if you start out, if you open fire in one direction and then move, the fire emitter isn't changing position with you. It doesn't. It doesn't. If you change direction, the fire just keeps going from where it started.
Damn.
Also, I don't like how there's little to no indication of when you're getting hit. Say what you want about the slaughtering grounds, at least it put blood splatters onto the screen when I was being hit.
Yeah,
They
that's
seem
at
to
least
rely
some
on a
sort of
little
that's at
small.
least visual feedback. There's no audio visual feedback of any kind, and your health meter is way down there. You're down to
Yeah,
11%, and
I'm
now
dead.
you're dead. You could just be dead at random, and nobody will notice.
That's
Plunged with the
absolutely
capital
terrible.
again.
So
This game has 4 negative reviews on Steam, and Mellow and Kage's reviews are the top 2 reviews, and all 4 reviews are negative.
yeah, all right.
Hmm.
Okay, we could probably skip this next chunk of yours there, Mello. We're just gonna switch back
Okay.
over here. We'll let Zach do his number 3, and then we'll move on.
Well, at least you can say the developer isn't out there buying shady positives that are coming from nowhere. At
Yeah.
least he's got that going for him, I guess.
Well, that's very small. Uh, okay. All right, Zach. What do you? All right, Zach. It's your turn.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about that game next.
Nope. Mello and I just
Okay.
finished talking about it.
All right, so here I am looking at the list again, and my number 3, thankfully, is not another Jason Welch game because I only played 2 of his games, thank God, this year. But my number 3, a visual novel. Now, usually I like these games, but this is One Last Chance, a game that I believe is only $2 or $3. And this is the one you watched my playthrough of it, Kage. This is a game that I kind of had a difference of opinion in most Steam and that have watched my video, and the overacting of the voice actress for the game.
You know, she
Now,
actually
unlike a lot
stopped
of these
talking to
visual
me.
novels that I play where I read everything myself, this one actually had a lady actress doing the voiceovers for this Tara Heatherton. And it's basically about you take over a guy named Ben flying over to the East Coast, USA, to try to sell a property or something. And you run into this girl that you used to go to college with and supposedly have old feelings, and she loves you and you love her, but you find out she's married when you make a choice to kiss her at the end or some BS. The problem with the game is it's very short. If you wasn't making a video for this and reading it like I was, you could probably play through the game in under 30 minutes. And there's just not enough character development here to go where they're trying to go with the story. Uh, it's predictable. It's lame. It's extremely cheesy. And to make the game even worse, you have, in what my opinion is, complete overacting by the voice actress who plays her. Uh, and you'll have to watch my video. You can see it on my review. One Last Chance. I did that, 2 months ago? And I gave the game a 1 out of 10, or thus a 10% score. So even at $2, I didn't find the game worth it. However, if you look on Steam, like so many of these games, I think 8 out of 10 people that review the game found the game positive and well worth your money. So I didn't like it, though. I didn't like. I thought it was extremely shallow, extremely cheesy, and the voice actressing by her made it even worse. So that was my opinion of the game, and I guess why we review these games and why everybody has a difference of opinions. Everybody
Well,
definitely.
everybody's entitled to a difference of
Yep.
opinion. That's just the way it works. I'm still looking for some footage for my for my number 2. All right. Because I know I've got some. All right.
Be back to Mellow again, right?
Yep. It's
Right,
Mello. It's
one
your turn
sec.
again, and then
Just setting it up.
we're going back. We're going back to the original list. So I'm actually looking for the place I put all of my magic footage. I think I. All right. Oh, go ahead. Carry on.
Yeah, brilliant. It wouldn't be a stream of this without a mention from our great friends over at Digital Homicide.
Hang on.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get some Digital Homicide here somewhere.
Actually, believe it or not, this is the only one.
Wow.
The only
Yeah.
one to make this list. Attrition, Nuclear Domination, coming in at Mellow number 2.
There isn't much to say about this. It's just that I had no clue what I was doing. This is all the help it gave me. Basic controls: F for fire mode, R for defense, left click to fire or get resources, escape to close the menu, use WASD or arrow keys to rotate the world, spacebar to reset to home camera location, left click to resource containers in mouse or defense mode only. Nuzzles in orbit are harder to hit when descending or ascending. Now, it takes me a while to even get into the game. Okay, so you're playing as a country and you are basically acting war against other ones, but you need to get resources in order to fire at them. It would help if you knew what you were even doing. I repeatedly switched in and out of fire mode and the missiles were not launching. I'm not sure if it's a bug or if I'm just playing it incorrectly. The controls for the world are slippery and you can barely tell which direction the world turns because the camera flips around with the world as you go around. And there is nothing happening because I can't figure out what I'm even doing.
Oh no.
That's no fun. We can't have that.
I'm even launching, cancelling. I'm literally trying to fire at anything I can see. Then suddenly something happens. A missile comes out of the side of a country, and I have no clue what I'm doing. Still, not sure how this game works. I'd assume that the main point of this is to just destroy the whole country with those big, huge buildings for some reason pointing out of a country that's apparently a standout part. And also, in case you didn't realize, the Earth is an asset. There's basically not much really else to say. WTF do I do? That's all I can say.
All right.
Controls are slippery, combat is terrible and doesn't work half the time.
Well, that's
Yeah,
no.
debatably the worst thing Digital Homicide have done.
Leave it to Digital Homicide to use assets to make an absolute catastrophe out of good assets.
Mm.
Well, that's actually
And
par for the course for digital homicide. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so very well, you can't very well kill them for that, but you might want to. Right. So, Zach, number two,
Number two for me. Let's
or
go
is
ahead and
yeah,
switch
okay.
back over here.
Yep, I'm going back over here now. Number two, because we're back
Number
in the
two,
original.
my second worst game of 2016 so far, comes in with an absolute failure of a game. The worst thing about Zombies on a Plane was their asking price. I believe this game came out in April, early April. 19.99 was the asking price. I just checked. The asking price is still 19.99 for this game. And this game is one of a kind, I'll tell you. Let's go ahead and check this out here. The game has two modes, I believe, two or three different modes. One's a fly mode where you're flying the airplane and trying to uh, stay up in the air, but it quickly gets boring, and the controls are an absolute mess in the game.
How
And
do you
then
do that?
I mean, again, just like so many of these games, you look at the introduction, you look at the start of the game, and you look at the graphics or the assets they bought, and you think, hey, maybe this game is worth it. You watch the trailer or the preview video on Steam, you think you might be getting something worthy of your money and worthy of your time. But once you start playing the game, you quickly find out that the game is complete garbage. There's no good redeeming quality about this game whatsoever. Um, I mean, you can look at the zombies here, you can look at the way they're moving. I mean, what the hell is wrong with the zombie? I mean, everything about this game, the animations, the actual controls and gameplay itself is a complete failure, making it no fun whatsoever. Uh, Zombies come out of anywhere and everywhere. Uh, you shoot zombies in the head, they don't die. You completely miss the zombies and they fall over dead. It's just yeah,
You you
it's a
win.
complete mess. I remember after I reviewed this game, watching Jim Sterling play this game as well, and I think he pretty much just laughed through the whole playthrough.
He did.
Yeah, he laughed like a madman because it was really just that much of a joke. But there's no redeeming quality about this, and the worst part of this game, like I say, is much like the Panzer Studio games. The developers for this game think that they're a piece of crap, $20 because they use the Unreal Engine 4 and paid a lot of money for it. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, again, if you look at the reviews on Steam for 100 reviews for this game, it is scoring mostly positive reviews. And these kind of games continue to baffle me is how games like this continue to get mostly positive reviews. I begin to understand it. I don't. It seems corrupt. I don't know if there are people are getting free copies of the games in exchange for their positive reviews or what's going on. But uh, it just has a feeling when you look at reviews for a game like this and see mostly positive. It just has a really dirty feeling, like slime, like corrupt. And
Andrew says it
yeah,
may not be it might not be an asset pack, but it looks like one.
yeah, I would if I had to guess. I haven't done the research. I haven't looked at the forums or anything like that. But I would guess that these are assets. If I had to guess, absolutely.
All
It
right.
would surprise me if the developers could make assets like this and not code a game better. So that is my number two worst game of the year, especially when you see that it comes in at 20 US dollars. You can see why my overall score, which takes in value for a game at 40% of the score, you can see why it came in with an 80% score.
Yeah, controls and bugs
Mm.
killed it too. All right,
Mm-hmm.
that makes it my turn. And I think this might be the right piece of footage. Don't kill me if it's not. Pretty sure this is the right one. This should be. It's about the right time. Let me just grab this here. She's being a little slow right now because reasons. All right, come on, silly, do your thing. It's taking me a second to load this up. Oh, there goes. I think it's gonna work. DLC Media Player's been giving me has been giving me issues all afternoon. Actually, it was working okay. Nope,
Oh,
this
I
is in
think I've
fact the
seen
right
the
piece of
video.
footage. This is Epsilon Corp. Um, this is a first-person horror game on Steam, and you are stuck in a facility that is intended for all sorts of squirrely experiments, and your job is to get out. Unfortunately, everybody else around here is out to get you. Now, this is a game I covered a few weeks ago on the Roundup. I didn't find the actual Roundup for this, but that's okay. I actually had the archive footage still handy.
Nice.
Unlike Z.I.O.N, which I was actually trying to record today, I'd played it a little bit prior to that and hadn't gotten footage, so I screwed that up. But yeah, it's another one of those hunt and peck and look for all the PewDiePie. Look for all the PewDiePie. Yep, there you go. Is this memes? Probably. Um,
How many of these horror games take place in one of these asylums or big, huge brick wall facilities that you
lots,
Like
try?
90% of
lots of them.
It seems like it.
Not all of them. There are a few that don't. And actually, I was going to put Insincere in this spot, and then realized that the developer had actually decided to be a human being. Hey, Fox, what's going on? Okay. All right, let's get to the better part. This here, he makes no indication of how you're actually supposed to drop a note. So I actually walked around with it for several minutes, trying to figure out how to change it. Um, Still doing. Still doing. There's a wrench. There's what I think is supposed to be a dog. Oh, and if you're holding something, if you're holding a note in your hand, you can only punch with your left. it's actually it's actually just all kinds of sick and wrong.
Nice.
We're just about ready to announce the number one winners. Of which we actually only have two, believe it or not. Mellow will go first, and then you and I will split. We'll split the last one, Zach.
Sounds like a plan, man. You mean to say that you and I have the same worst game of 2016?
If I know you a tenth as well as I think I do, then yes, we do.
Or if you observe my scores, yeah, my scores.
Yeah, all I know is I know how some games got scored. So watch, bop bop bop.
Nice.
On the outside of the middle box. Let's have some Sparky.
At least the crescent wrench looks pretty good. I
Well,
can tell what it is.
Yeah, it's a crescent wrench. Okay. Now I'm trying to find my way out of this first area, and I haven't managed it yet. And I don't know why, but I haven't managed it.
That looks like what my 13-year-old daughter brings me if I ask her to go get me a screwdriver.
Yeah. Well, she should know what a screwdriver is. Okay. Look! I'm being attacked through the bars! Okay, this is the combat. This is all the combat is. Oh, look. There's a woman with no nipples.
And it's glitching through the walls of the bar.
Yeah, she's completely through there. You know, and the gameplay was very poor. And when I gave it the negative review that it had earned, the developer told me that I wasn't doing it right and that I should just fuck off.
Yeah, how many times have we heard that when we give one of these indie games, especially from these developers overseas, these Russian guys and different countries over there? You give their piece of crap game. A lot of these games are these horror games. You give it a negative review, and of course they tell you that
they go ape shit.
Get good kind of attitude. You don't know how to play.
Get good. Yeah, that's an attitude I've heard a lot. Mellow, we will swap back over to you. That's it for number 2, Epsilon Corp.
We are going to the number 1.
And now for the list of worst. Oh, and we got Second Warfare. Early access
worse
OS.
Than Digital Homicide, Mellow?
What?
Worse than Digital Homicide?
Apparently so.
Yeah, definitely. Corporate Studios is supposed to be being the worst developer I know. If it didn't just keep on spamming with their own games.
His practicing his squeaks. You'll have to forgive him.
I just want to do something real quick. What I'm going to do is I got this up. I'm going to do a side-by-side here. I'm going to play the trailer.
Okay. This should be good.
Okay. This is the early alpha footage.
Notice how that first few seconds play out. Now, I'm going to play this. Now, this scene is supposed to be in a first-person view, according to the trailer. And you are looking from behind the character with a huge amount of mouse sensitivity, which you can't turn down.
Oh no.
He still looks like it still looks like his nose was transplanted from a pig.
Yeah.
Oh, and this cutscene is at the front end, not skippable.
Oh yeah, it isn't.
Every time you die, you have to watch it again.
The subtitles never match up with what the characters are saying either. And then wait till it gets to it. There is a long amount of time where this cutscene is drawn out and nothing is going on, and this is where I just look around confused.
Oh my.
Not sure what's going on.
You have camera control but nothing else. That's hilarious.
It goes on for 20 seconds. That long pause. And also keep in mind that this is the graphics on Ultra.
That's the Ultra graphics? Holy
That's
shit.
The Ultra.
Because I had to run this. I had to run this shit on low, and it looked actually almost better in some ways.
Really?
Oh look, you're being shot through a wall. You're facing your
I'm being
opponent,
shot.
and you're still losing health.
I'm still losing health. Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, this is a true masterpiece. Walking through the bushes, holding my badly textured gun, which isn't even lined up with my arm correctly.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this is a mobile game. Just want to point that out.
Yeah, this is originally a mobile game. You can actually get this one and a bunch of others from Cobra Studios from the Play Store for just a couple of bucks each. But you don't. But there's some other things you don't have,
Mm.
like I don't know, a brain.
Yeah.
I can imagine what this is going to be like on a tablet and touchscreen.
Yeah, no kidding, no
Yeah.
kidding.
It's just going to be
Now,
horrid.
the interface is terrible as well. There's tasks at the top right, but it gives me little indication on whereabouts I actually need to go. There's a distance thing up in the top, up at the top, but that doesn't really tell me exactly what I need to do or where I need to go. I just need to head in the general direction where the distance counter times down. Even though the enemies can shoot through the walls, I can't.
Right. And Jim Sterling played this game and thought, "Whoa."
Was he amazed by it?
I'm looking at this. You're just boom, boom. You actually managed to get more than 3 shots off before you died. I'm shocked and offended because I didn't manage it.
And then it
Yeah, good old
spawns
Jim
me.
Sterling. He plays more than his fair share of these
More sure.
crap games.
Well, you know what? He's actually making his fortune on this. We don't.
Yeah.
We just review whatever games happen to fall in our laps.
And
Or
this
whatever
was
games we
unfortunate enough
think
to come
look
into
good.
my lap.
Like the next one. If I remember right, our next game, Kage, I mean, I looked at it on Steam. I was like, this looks like it might be pretty decent. And then you bought it as well. And boy,
Turned
were
out
we
to be
wrong.
shit.
Look at this.
Complete and utter horseshit.
Day and night
Fox
cycle.
says Fox down here says I don't get why
What?
people can handle that they make bad game make that they made a bad game.
This is the night version of the game.
Bleh.
And that's me stuck trying to get up to an area where I need to destroy a terrorist headquarters.
Good luck with
Oh,
that.
fun.
And look at this. I try for about a good 10 minutes getting up this hill to get to the next area.
I don't even know how you can tell if that's a heal or that that's anything. I can't even tell what the hell you're looking at.
Yeah,
And that
That's
torch is
horrible.
complete shit.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's what you
they
call
don't work
terrible
like that.
lighting. If you take a
Yeah, this
flashlight,
is easy.
any flashlight in real life, it doesn't do that. It doesn't give you a bright light and then nothing around it.
And then a plus sign
Yeah,
where it's trying to create.
I hate it when games do that.
Well, unfortunately, it happens
And
way
also,
too often.
It does.
And
I
this,
have about an hour on this game on my account, and it gave me a headache playing 30 minutes of it.
gave me
I don't
a.
know how you played it for more than 60 seconds, to be honest with you.
This,
I
this
got
is one
about
of the first few games that I've
this
encountered that has actually caused physical harm to me.
this particular game gave me a 3-day migraine in 10 minutes. How you've managed to play for an hour, I have no idea.
Small doses.
How come this game
that's
didn't
it.
make your top 5, Kage, if you played this game?
Because I had worse.
Wow, okay.
I'm amazed.
This
Yeah, it looks pretty
game
bad.
here made number 6.
This made number 6.
This was number 6. Followed by like 12 digital homicide games.
Damn.
Most
Also,
of
I
which
just
were
want to
most
show
of which
one
were
last
project
bit.
flips of some sort from Krog Wars / Wyatt Derp.
Right, pretty much all the same game with Digital Homicide.
Well, I
This
haven't
is the
checked. I
stair
haven't
climber.
checked the ones that appeared on Itch.io this morning, but yeah, I don't expect that to be a whole lot better. Someone's going to get a set of licenses for those, by the way. I don't know who they are, but someone's going to get them.
You need to jump up the stairs, by the way, in order for them to work.
Ugh. Okay.
You don't auto climb them early.
Crypto says you're doing it wrong at night mode. I don't know what he means by that.
Night
Crypto,
mode,
you're
you're
gonna have to
doing it
explain
wrong.
yourself.
Yep. That's the Doge
No,
for you.
he's parodying what Cobra Studios said. They were saying that they were doing it wrong in night mode, I think.
Anyway.
Cobra
It's not the
Studios
game. It's not the game, Mellow. It's you, definitely.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
me.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's the main problem. It's not the game, it's me.
The game is an absolute brilliant masterpiece. How can you mess up a game so badly, Mellow?
All
I have
right.
no clue.
So at this point, we actually need to move on to our last one because we're kind of running short on some time here. Someone's got an appointment to be
Okay.
someplace else in about 5 minutes, so we're going to have to get
Yep.
moving.
We'll be doing a live stream here soon.
Yeah.
So let's get on to our number one for
moving
both
on
Kage
to
and I.
number one, and I'm gonna grab my footage here because I've got
Sure.
I've got to grab my footage because I've got more of it than you do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, come on.
We don't need much to show them exactly what the game is and exactly how the game fails. So
All right, let me just. This is actually the other footage that I had a minute ago. So this is as soon as it pops up, we'll save on bandwidth anyway because yeah. As soon as it starts, it's actually being slow because OBS is kicking the crap out of me right now. I'm hoping to get a copy of XSplit soon, and that would be really, really lovely. Okay, I think we've actually got a response here. And we'll know in a moment whether or not I was right about that. All right. Yep. This is Unconscious.
yay!
Did I get it right? Did I?
I play this game all the time, Kage. I think I've got 300-400 hours in this game now.
The best thing they did was tell us that it was actually that the game might be too scary for some people. The best part of the game, all the way around. There's been a couple games I could say that about, and this particular developer had a complete raging meltdown after the negative reviews started piling in. Okay, here's where we wake up. And
he did a digital homicide temper tantrum when he started getting negative reviews, and
this is actually continuation. This is actually a continue from a save. We're actually gonna have. We're actually that's the special announcement is next up, and we're gonna delay Zach's stream by a little bit for it. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's fine.
He needs to be here for this.
And this game, if I remember right, this is the weird game where it was made for like a French keyboard or whatever, and Z was moved forward, and
yeah, it was all
whacked out.
The controls were all messed up. They are still, to this day, despite repeated claims that they have been fixed, they are still screwed up.
Yeah, and the developer promised 2 or 3 times on those forums that he fixed the controls.
This was delivered. This game was delivered in May, or in March. Right after we started doing these. Right after we started doing these roundups, and this one actually appeared. I think it was on our first roundup, or first or second roundup.
First or second, yeah, it was up there.
Yeah, it was. This was one we did right at the beginning. Hey, Hired, how you doing? We're just getting ready to kind of wrap some things up here. Let's kind of move forward here. But this is the night vision. You will use this mode most of the time. Because the game is pretty much not navigable otherwise.
And just like your last horror game, this is a game where you're stuck in a big brick building.
Yep, this is actually supposed to be a super top secret facility, Area 52 or some such shit. It's just not a super secret facility. There is no such facility. Then we got shit infiltrating the floor. And that, yeah, something went down here that made shit disappear into the deck.
How are you doing
this
today?
Is another Find the Thing game as well, where the graphics were such shit. It was so dark. It was really hard to find the keys and the different items you needed to progress at all.
Yeah.
Another big problem with the game was invisible walls. were very frustrating in multiple points of the game where it looked like you could progress through an area and invisible walls stopped you, especially in the big open rooms where you couldn't move through areas that it looked like you should be able to. Lots of locked doors. Um, Nothing was scary about the game. I mean, there was not even jump scares. A lot of these games have jump scares that can at least be effective. This game was nothing but monotony. And the jump scares that were there were very ineffective and even very expected.
Well,
This
yeah,
game
they telegraphed the jump
failed at
scares by a long way.
it failed at every level. And I
Yeah,
mean,
and anytime they actually got you with a proper jump scare, they took control away from you. The control was
doing
just
good here,
gone.
Catherine.
Hey,
Yeah, this game,
Catherine, we're doing
this
okay.
game,
We ran a little late getting started today, but that's okay.
as
I'm
I
excited.
said, I believe in my review of this game, Kage, when I reviewed it, I think I said the same thing. Last November sometime, I went and reviewed Digital Homicide's Slaughtering Grounds. See what I thought of it. I gave it a 4%. This game, I had to work hard to give this game a 3% overall score. I believe this is the worst game I've reviewed ever at this point.
What
It
about
is
temper
that
tantrum?
bad.
Catherine, this is that game. The game you're referring to is this game. This is Unconscious.
Unconscious. Yep.
And
Zach, what
this
happened? Zach, what
is
about temper tantrum?
certainly qualified as my pick for worst game at halftime, and it might still make the end of the year. It still might make the top 10.
An interesting thing about this game is not only the meltdown the developer had when he released this game back in March, but he originally launched it. I believe I paid $9.90. I know I paid $9.99 for it when I bought it. Only a day or two later, it went down to like I believe $2.99 or something like that. That's when
It
Kage
went
bought it.
down. I bought it. I bought it at $2.60 some cents.
Yep, I knew it was under $3 when you bought it, just a day or two later, and then he jacked it back up to $7.99, and then back down to $5.99, then to $3.99, then back up to $11.99, all over the place with his pricing. But the most interesting thing about this game is this game came out in March. Today, it's nowhere to be found on Steam. So we might have to investigate and find out what the hell happened to this game. Did Steam finally open their eyes and shed one of their atrocity games off their site? Or did the developer just take his game and run when he saw that he wasn't going to sell any more copies and the bad publicity that he got? Maybe he was embarrassed about the temper tantrums he threw on his own, game on Steam. I don't know, but it would be interesting to know why this game is no longer on Steam to be found.
If you want my opinion, he figured he realized that nobody was going to buy it after it got hammered, and
I
just
think it
said,
had like
"Screw it,
15
we're
negative
done."
reviews. All of them were negative. I know
Yeah,
one guy originally reviewed it as a positive review, but he eventually either removed his review or changed it to a negative because last couple of times I looked at it, it was 100% negative reviews and around 15 of them, I think.
okay. This is the end of the section of playthrough that I did. By this time, I'm well beyond the point where I can't. I couldn't. By this time, I couldn't even refund the game. I was over. I was over the limit. I think I was over the limit.
I tried to convince you to refund the game, but you wouldn't listen to me.
Well, that's because I wanted it I wanted to be able to take additional footage for circumstances like this.
Well,
All
I
right,
definitely definitely refunded it $10 when I bought it.
yeah. Well, this is the worst game for me of 2016. And it looks like Zaxter too. So, with that out of the way, let's just turn off the screen shares.
Okay.
And go back to our little discussions. Go back to our general discussion format. We'll close this one here. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, okay.
Bonus
You feel better,
content,
Catherine, please. Lovely skeptic, Catherine. Everyone, one of our longtime folks here.
Hey, Catherine. Good night. Going back to bed. Dot, 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 dot. Can we get a drum roll here? Yeah, bonus content. What could it be?
What is this? What is the special announcement? The special announcement is actually pretty simple. We've had a short discussion, a very short discussion, and rather than in future having digital homicide games as part of the top or bottom, or excuse me, at least as part of the bottom five or bottom five, bottom 10 for any given year, we're going to give them a lifetime achievement award. Okay,
Mm.
but and this will go to the developers that are just so completely terrible that the universe would be better off if they had never actually released their first game. There are a number of, this is the award that says we'd like you to fuck off now, please. But unfortunately we couldn't decide what to call it. These are for games. This is for developers that produce games that make ET from the Atari 2600 look good. Okay,
That takes a lot to
and
do.
that takes a
You
lot.
know what? I think I just thought of the perfect name for this award because you were asking Kage what should we call this award,
Huh?
and looking at it here, I think I've thought of the perfect. You know how I score games, Kage, on a score of 0 to 100 rather.
Yeah.
I have 100
Mm.
points that I score games. How about giving this award the exact same thing that Digital Homicide is going to get in their lawsuit against Jim Sterling? 0 out of 10.76 million.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know about it being a
Mm.
very good name for a permanent award. Uh,
One thing that makes them so bad though is their lawsuit against Digital Homicide. I think you'll have to agree with that.
oh,
I mean,
you
that's
mean
one thing
against
that
Sterling? Yeah. No, that's actually the reason I started covering them anyway, because I knew at that point that there was going to be that there was Jim wasn't going to be able to cover them until after it got settled. So I figured somebody had to
Oh,
do it.
guess what? Guess what? Guess what?
Hired Gun Games is talking about Panzer Studios.
we were just talking
Uh,
about them, and,
we
and
were
one thing
just
I was
talking.
talking. Yep.
Zaxter pulled two games out of his hat from that rascal. Um,
They're the
They've
they're the
decided to
proud winners of
celebrate.
2 of my top 5 worst games of 2016 hired.
so
They've
And
decided to
actually,
celebrate.
they're in the running for this particular achievement award. For at this point for the end of the year, and
well, and
we will induct one every time for every set of these we do.
like I was saying to Kage, I mean, the good thing about in a lot of ways, Panzer Studios, as we know, is Jason Welch. Uh, at least Digital Homicide doesn't start off all their games directed by James Romine, art by Robert Romine. 50 different things saying they're Romine brothers, like Jason Welch does with his games. And at least Digital Homicide doesn't have the gall to try to charge $10 or $15 for their utter crap and their asset,
And their
their
project flips.
asset pieces of crap where they just
That,
throw in a
that's
random
where you're
asset
wrong.
they purchased.
That's where you're wrong, because they've actually got a bundle for £18.24.
Well, actually, they've got a bundle digital What? Oh, who's got? You're talking about Panzer Studios?
No, Digital Homicide.
Why would you buy that? You could go. You could just go to Itch.io and buy up their entire pile for $1. They're 79 pence.
I've no clue why I got it, I just got it.
Yeah.
So
In a lot
anyway,
in a lot of ways, I agree with Hired. Panda Studios or Jason Welch is 10 times worse than Digital Homicide or anything they've done.
he takes
So,
assets and doesn't pay the artists. Not doing business with that guy. I wouldn't do business with him anyway. He thinks he's Michael Bay, and he's
yeah, as you saw with all the stuff with that.
I'll give him a James Romine out of two Michael Bays. It's just
One Jason,
no.
one
Yes, the
Roman
Trump
brother.
method.
That's funny.
Actually, you know what? Okay, so who in the okay chat? Let's have it. Let's have some suggestions for what we want to call it.
The worst games of forever award.
The worst
basically.
developers of forever.
Worst developers of forever.
I'm think
Well,
I. You know what I'm thinking? Digital shit aside. No, 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 no. We can't actually name a specific developer doing that.
Okay.
You know what I'm thinking? I have a thought. We'll call it the we'll call it the Hillary Trump Award for
Hillary
astounding
Trump.
excellence and shittiness.
Since it is the year we're going to be voting here in the states, that's not a bad name.
Uh, I'm thinking we call it uh, the Hillary Trump Brass Ass Award. What do you think, guys? How's that sound?
That, that's suitable.
That's doable for me as well.
How about you guys? Unfortunately, Steam doesn't seem to want to ban developers, or they wouldn't have put, or they wouldn't have let Digital Homicide put 4 more games up overnight last night.
Wait. Oh yeah, those ones.
Yeah, those ones. 2 more
Just
of
don't
those
talk about them for now.
Mike the Astronaut ones, and one of the others. Oh no, it was actually a pumpkin patch guy. I did not see Onisin's feminist video. You'll have to send me a link on that, Hired, because we might actually cover that. Um, Onisin, no, I don't even know who that is, dude.
Who's he talking about?
He's talking about a feminist video, and I'm not sure who that person is.
Oh, Nision. He's a comedian on YouTube.
Oh, was he for or against feminism? I wonder.
I have no clue. I just know he's quite a controversial one.
If he's controversial, he's probably anti-feminist. Okay. So no.
Asset Flippers of America Award.
Well, except that the award has to be international. And just because they asset flip doesn't mean they made a bad game.
Asset flippers of Steam.
Well, Fox, I'm in my 40s and I'm hanging out with you guys. So guess what? I think Zach is too.
You know what? I think we really need to think about this, guys, because I'm onto something here. Though I like yours, Kage, with the Hillary Trump Award. How about Digital Homicide winning the ASS Award, ASS? We have an A for asset, S, and then the last S could be Steam. Asset, something that starts with an S, shouldn't be hard to figure out, of Steam. Asset, something. What starts with an S? You guys help me out here. What starts with an S, and we could call him the ass. Give him the ass award.
The asset stimulator of Steam.
And ass is short for assets, so I think it fits. The ass award.
I think I like the Hillary Trump Brass Ass Award.
Yeah, there you go.
If he was for it, then I'm actually inclined to cover it. All right.
Shitlord.
And then here is the trophy.
You know what? You know what? Honestly, let's. Okay, hang on a minute. Oh. That would be kind of funny. Mellow just linked me the icon for assholes, the digital homicide assholes. You know what? Actually, we could call. You know what? Let's call it the Gaming Shitlord Awards.
Okay.
Or the Steam Shitlord Awards. No, the games.
We should let the people in the chat vote on it or give us their suggestions.
All right. Okay, so we've got Shitlord, which we'd probably put with something else. Some other word to go with it.
We're gonna try and spell something out with it.
I don't know. Probably not. We're just gonna. it's just let's just put this in the clear so that the developers in question know that we have a distaste for them.
I think that's
Because obviously
obvious.
we need to make that more clear.
And I'll make up a fun graphic for next time.
There you go.
The Assies? Maybe that might work.
Parody of the Razzie Awards.
What?
Parody of the Razzie Awards.
Yep. Well, the Razzie Awards are for movies. So
Stop making shit
Games Award. Okay. What else do we got? Because No Unconscious is going to be real hard to beat this year.
They are
It's so bad. It's
definitely
still pretty bad award.
Yeah, they're definitely known for steamrolling tons of crappy clones out.
Oh, okay. So let's,
Mass production of shit.
Oh, here we go. The Massive Dump Award.
Yeah, that would fit. The massive reproduction of shit.
It's the mass. It would be the mass dump award or something. Come on, we got to keep it to just a couple of words here.
Right.
I don't want to use brass ass directly because that could be bad. Although it does make for some really good. It does make for some really good rhyming. You get names like you get some. There was an award, an annual award for a while. No, the only people that would win the mass dumping award the mass dumping ground award would be Steam or Itch.io. We're talking about the developers. I like that one too, Hart. We're looking at, but what we're trying to do here, this is supposed to be a lifetime achievement award for developers that are just so bad that their games will no longer qualify.
This is harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I know, right? And we really didn't have much. We didn't really have much to start with. We couldn't agree. We could barely agree that there should be.
We need to come up with one.
I'm just gonna say MROS, mass reproduction of shit, is my input.
We need to settle this. We need to settle this because Zach still has a stream to make.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not in any hurry.
Huh? Okay.
I'm done award.
Anyway, we should probably bat this around. We should probably bat this around for a little while, but we are most certainly giving the lifetime achievement of shit award to Digital Homicide.
Lamps and me had the same idea. Lamps that might be something. MPS could be mass production of shit. LA, I don't know what it would stand for. LA, mass production shit. Could be the Lamps Award.
We'll figure something out.
Yep.
All right.
The Feminist Award.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We'll think about it. You guys you can put in the comments down below any suggestions you have for what we should give Digital Homicide for a lifetime award.
Oh, I got it. I got it. It's the Platinum Poo Award. We'll even know what the statue would look like.
Even
The
3-year-olds can
PPA.
say that without getting in trouble. They don't have to say the word shit.
Yeah,
Poo.
it would become the Platinum Poo Award for excellence in crap games.
MPV. No, Platinum Poo Award. PP.
The
PP.
platinum, yeah, it would be the PPs, the Platinum Poo
The
Awards.
PPA. Works for me.
All right.
But we can let our chatters and anybody that's watching this afterwards comment down below, give us any suggestions you guys have. And I want to thank you guys for watching our worst of 2016 so far. But don't fret because 2016 isn't over yet. There's plenty of time for more developers to poo all over Steam and for
And we will,
Kage, Mellow, and I to buy those games and
and
review.
believe me, we will be all over it. We're going to be all over that. Looking like either Sunday or Monday, we're going to bring the rain on the digital homicide because that's the thing that's going to happen. We have a whole shitload of games that we got access to recently, and we're going to take them all apart.
Uh-oh.
Never mind, they're all pretty much Krog Wars, but hey, you know what the hell, whatever. All right. Oh, and but that's not the only thing we got. We also got a copy of Zolothar and Jungle, the poop, the poof or Hoopfung Poo sequel, which actually had different gameplay. Scary thought that. And Fight in the Garden, we've got that one too. So we're gonna.
Well, you've got it. I haven't got it yet.
Huh?
You've got it. I haven't gotten it yet.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight to you guys, Mellow and Kage. Guys, anybody waiting on my stream, expect that to start up at about 11:45 tonight. I got about 20 minutes of stuff I got to do. So 11:45, my nightly stream will start on my channel. Thanks for watching this stream, everybody. And we'll see you guys next week right here with Mellow, Kage, and I as we take a look at some of the E3 events that happen this next week. We should have plenty to talk about by next Friday night.
Oh yeah, we will. It's actually going to be this will be the that will be the games roundup E3 special. Look forward to it, guys, because there's going to be good, bad, and ugly.
We'll see you guys all soon. See you guys in about 20, 25 minutes over on my stream. If you guys are looking forward to watching my nightly live stream, Mellow, thank you again so much for waking up early to do this stream. That is a big dedication on your part. And Kage, always fun. It's fun as always. So we'll see you guys soon.
All
Take care.
right, we'll see you in a little while,
Right.
Zach. And then after he's done, I will be going back to Minecraft Story Mode on Squirrel Play. So we will see you not too terribly long after that. I'll get the event set up for the Squirrel Play video or for the Squirrel Play stream for episode 2 for Minecraft Story Mode. While Zach's doing his stream, and everybody will be all happy with that. All right. So at this point, we're gonna sign off. I'm gonna say stay safe, stay sane, avoid the really crap games, and let's make games fun again.
See you guys.
Make sure you get that one in the comments there, Andrew.
Copying and pasting it.
All right. What can we do for you there, Hard? Cool. I'm completely on with that.
Do you want them?
Oh, he's gonna he wants to. All right, let me just stop this here. There we go. Come on. All right. Let me just take this down here real quick, and we shall talk in the